Hi everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. This is kind of like a vlog style intro just because of where I am. So I have moved home and I'm in the process of organizing all of my nail stuff to where I can make it portable. So I will hopefully, once I get all of my stuff in, I'm going to be doing it on two different rolling carts so that I can store them in a closet. But I'm hoping to have a video for that once I get it all organized. But while I was organizing, I decided that I wanted to re-swatch all of my clear jelly stamper stamping polishes. So I thought, well, why don't I take you along with me? So I'm going to swatch my entire collection of clear jelly stamping polishes. They are my favorite. I love them so much. It took me literally 10 hours yesterday. So it was definitely a labor of love, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I have a little part where I talk right before I did the swatches. I hope you guys enjoy. Please let me know if there's anything else that I can show you or if you would be interested in like a my nail organization situation, because my situation is a little unique. You know, I don't have a set place for nails. I'm doing them at the kitchen table. So I need something that I can put away and kind of, but yet keep really organized. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll probably see you face to face in the next one, so enjoy. Okay, so the best way that I thought to do this experiment, not really experiment, reorganizing, was to first go through the CjS website. I'm sorry that this table is shaking. I'm trying not to do it. And write down all of the polishes that I have. So I have 2 1/4 pages, and so I wrote them all down. I wrote all their numbers so that I could get the labels ready, and then I did swatch sticks. I labeled them with CjS, which I know is Clear Jelly Stamper, the number, and then the name of the stamping polish. And I did the swatch sticks half white, half black, because I think it'll show up really well, or it'll show what the polishes look like really well on dark colors and on light colors. And that's the main reason that I wanted to reorganize my system, other than the fact that I'm just crazy, apparently. But some people were picking stamping polishes that didn't stamp super well on a dark color. Like, they might be like, I want red stamped on black. But then I have to explain, well, a red metallic is going to look better on black than just a straight red creme, because of how it stamps. So I thought that this would distinguish my sticks, my swatch sticks, from just regular polished swatch sticks that are just a solid color. I thought that this would maybe distinguish them a little bit. So I decided that I'm going to stamp them all with one image, and I'm going to go for this lace image on the one of the collaboration plates from Clear Jelly Stamper with Susie from Nail Career Education. I think lace is pretty. It's a good full coverage image, and I think it'll show the colors well on either. It might look a little odd, but I think it would look odd no matter what. So without any further ado, let's get started to stamping these 41 polishes. Alright, so let's get started with these swatches. This is stamping polish number 1, and it is called More Like 1 AM. This is going to be your classic black stamping polish. You will notice that Clear Jelly Stamper has quite a few. They have 2 different sizes of polishes. They have the 5 milliliter, and I believe the big ones are the 10 milliliter. And I would always go for the smaller ones, except in the case of black, white, silver, and your choice of gold. Those are what I would get the bigger ones in. So this is stamping polish number 2. This is your white, your stark white, and this is Jenny's Gonna Love It. So when I'm stamping these, I mean, I have videos on stamping. I'm applying the polish, I scrape, and then I do a really light pickup. As you could see on the last one, of course it showed up on white, but it didn't really show up on black super great. And on these ones, with the white, it actually does kind of show up a little bit on the white, but I feel like that's just because of the nature of the white gel polish that I used. It's not a super stark white, which I like that this is a very bright white because you can do some really cool like white on white designs, and of course it shows up great over black. Our next polish is number 3, and this is called All the Glitters. I have my list right here. This is a very yellowy gold. So Clear Jelly does have a few different golds. I have 2 of them. I want to say they have 1 more, but I'm not totally sure on that. This is a very yellowy gold. If I had to pick between the 2 golds, and I will show you a comparison between the 2, this is not my favorite. I do like the other gold one better. But as you can see, it does stamp pretty well on top of both black and white. And you're going to see that generally with the metallics in the Clear Jelly Stamper line. Where you kind of start to have issues seeing it over black is in the creme polishes. This is number 4, and this is Steal the Show. So this is your silver. I think they do have another silver as well, but this is the silver that I like the best. I think they have one that's a little bit less intense. This one is kind of intense. It's what I would call like a liquid silver. It literally looks like a liquid. It is very pigmented. And you're going to see how well it shows up over white and black. So this is another good option. This is another one that I would get the bigger bottle size in because I do use a lot of it. So when I place my next Clear Jelly Stamper order, I'm actually going to purchase the bigger bottle of the silver because I use it a lot as an accent if I don't want to use black or something. All right, this next one is relatively new to my collection. This is number 5, and this is Wild Child. I actually got this around Valentine's Day because I was finding that people wanted like a fuchsia or a darker pink to layer with the lighter pinks, and I didn't have it. So this is the perfect fuchsia. It shows up pretty well over white and on black as well, I would say, for a creme. I mean, it's not the best, but it also, when you stamp things, sorry, my dog's trying to get up on the couch, you tend to have better luck with neon polishes than you do just straight cremes showing up on dark colors. So this is number 7. This is called CjS PJs, and I have 2 blues that are kind of both light baby blues. This one is the darker of the 2, and it does stamp pretty nicely, I will say. If I was stamping light blue on top of white, sometimes you get with the light colors, you can't see it super well. This is definitely the one that I would pick. As you can see, it does show up pretty well on blue, and it almost leans like, you get a different effect on the black, which is kind of interesting. So this one is number 8, and this is called You Are My Sunshine. This is just your sunshine yellow. This is one that I would recommend to have in your collection. The brush on this one is funny, and it's weird because I had ordered it twice, like by mistake in 2 different orders. I didn't think I had it, but on both of mine, the brush is like not good. It's like stuck together. None of my other ones are like that, but both of my yellows are. This is just the lesser of the 2 evils. So as you can see, this one does show up pretty well on black, and that kind of goes with my point is far as the more neon the color, the better it's going to show up. So this is number 9, and this is Ready for Anything. This is one of a few reds that I have. This is kind of the deeper red, and you're going to see it does not show up very well on black. And as a general rule, reds don't stamp super well on blacks. They also make a mess of your stamping plate. They stain your stamping plates a little bit. Like, you just have to clean them a little bit more thoroughly after using a red than if you were to use, say, a pink or like even a black. See, you can't really see it on the black side. So this is number 10. This has got to be blue. This is what I would call a medium blue. It's not too dark, but it's not super light. It's kind of more on the neon side. This is one that I would probably start out with. I would get these more rainbowy colors if you were starting out with stamping polishes and trying to build a collection, because Clear Jelly does actually have a set, like you can build a set of 7 polishes of your choice, so you can pick what you want. But if you know that you would gravitate more towards light colors, then get light colors. But I would personally pick rainbows. That's what I would do. See, and it does show up pretty well on black, and it would show up better after you top coat it. So this is number 11. This is Dollar Dollar Bill. This is your just medium green creme. And this is one of the ones that I've had since the beginning. This is also one of the ones that I would get in like a first kit. Maybe I'll do a separate video if you guys are interested of like my top stamping polishes, because Clear Jelly has so many stamping polishes, and I get that it can be very overwhelming, but I actually did buy stamping stuff, or I helped my mom purchase it for my brother's girlfriend because she does like nail art, and I thought she might like to try stamping. So that was her Christmas gift. We got her some stamping plates and polishes from Clear Jelly, and I kind of picked her like first plates. Now this one is number 13. This is called Storm Pirate. So this is a dark blue. I would go as far to say this is probably like the closest to a navy blue. Because it's not really a royal blue, but it's the closest to a navy blue, which suits me because that's my high school and college alma mater's school colors were navy blue and white. So it kind of lends really well to that. I think it has a really cool effect on white. I think that it kind of looks like that China pattern with the white and the dark blue, but it is almost non-existent over the black. And I know the lighting isn't the best. Again, I'm sorry, I'm trying to work on it, but the lighting is not the best. So this is number 14. This is Peachy Keen Jelly Bean. This is not one that I reach for a whole lot. This would be probably good in like the middles of flowers if you wanted something that was a little bit less yellow and like not orange. This is a peach is exactly how I would describe it. But it's not like a pinky peach. It's like an orangey peach. So it is useful to have. I bought this, I think when I bought it, I had kind of thought that it was like an orange. And it's not a bad orange. It's like just a lighter orange. It kind of shows up yellow on black, but it does show up really well on white. So this is one of my other favorite ones. So this is number 15. This is called Stone Cold, and it's a light gray. I really like Stone Cold because sometimes you don't want a black to outline an image, and this is really great if you're, for example, stamping on a white nail. So you can outline in white, but you have a darker base to the image and you want it to pop, but you don't want it to be so dark that you use black. This is a really great one. So this is definitely a staple in my collection. And it's also great for layering. As you can see, it shows up really well on black. The next one I have is called, now please don't yell at me if I say this wrong, this is number 16, it's called Shiraz. It's just your bright, I don't want to say bright, but it's like your kind of medium purple. It's not super on the neon side. They do have one that is kind of a little bit more on the neon side without being neon. This is just kind of your medium purple. I get a lot of use out of this one around Halloween because it's not super, super bright. It still has that kind of like little bit of deep richness in the violet. It does not show up super well on black, but it does, as you can see, look great on white. And this kind of goes to show like the deeper the polish, the just less it shows up on black. All right, this one I lost the sticker to, but this is number 21. This is called Bubble Pop Pink. I do have a lot of pinks from Clear Jelly, but I think the pinks, like, generally in nails are kind of a staple, especially if you're talking about, like, layering flowers or hearts or anything like that. So this one is what I would call I think this is probably my darkest pink, other than Wild Child. So this is like my second darkest pink. It actually does show up pretty well on top of black. It shows up, of course, a little bit lighter than it would on white, but it is a nice medium pink on white. So this is number 22. This is Clementine. This is your just pumpkin orange. It's not a super burnt orange. This is definitely the orange that I would put into a rainbow kind of collection. It's great for Halloween, which is actually what I had bought it for. But anytime in fall, like if people start to want like orange plaid nails, you know, that kind of gets popular in the fall. And so of course it shows up great on white, and on black it's another one that it's kind of non-existent. So it's just one of those things. It almost shows up a little bit yellow on orange. So this one is an interesting one. This is number 27. It's called The Eyes of a Unicorn. So you're going to see that this one and number 32 in the bottle look very, very similar, but on the nail they are very, very different. So Eyes of a Unicorn, it looks a lot more pigmented when it's condensed, but as you can see, it's not very pigmented when you stamp it, but it has a very cool effect on the nail. It's like a really neat sheen, and while it doesn't show up, you would think, super well on black, it really shifts on black, which is why I think they were kind of seeing this as a unicorn thing. Like you can see it comes up really cool on black, but it also looks like gray blue on white. So two very different looks, but it is very neat. This is another staple in my collection. This is number 31. You Had Me at Chocolate. So I feel like you need to have a brown for any kind of stems, or it's another one you could like highlight with if you wanted to, or like outline an image with if it was, you know, black was a little too dark. This is just a very rich chocolate brown. I have a few different browns, but this one is probably the one I get the most use out of, I would say. It actually stamps very well on white, as you can see. And it's not like it's non-existent on black. Like, you can kind of see it, and you can see it a little bit better when it's top-coated. But, again, it's a creme. It's not going to show up super great on black, but it will look better when it's top-coated. So here's another one of the metallics. This is number 32, and this is called Blue Right On By. This is a great blue metallic for, it's a deep blue metallic. It's really good for the 4th of July is what I use it for, and I think that's actually what I had bought it for. It's really pigmented, and it's nice and shimmery, and it does show quite well on black. And like I said before, I'm just trying to like really reiterate, you are going to get better luck stamping on top of black with metallic polishes. Now there is a way that you can kind of cheat this. For example, if you wanted something red on black, real quick, this is number 34, Angelic White, and this is just a shimmery white. It actually has a really neat effect on white, like white on white nails, because it's shimmery and a little bit more eggshellish. And of course it does show up nicely on black. But you can kind of cheat the system by stamping. For example, if I wanted to stamp an apple on a nail, I would stamp a white first, like a you know, the background is white. And then I can go over top of that stamp with red, because white obviously stamps well on black, and then go over top of that with a red. And even if you don't get it perfect, the outline is likely going to hide any imperfections. So that is kind of how you can cheat the system with colors that maybe don't show super well on black. They'll show a little bit better if you stamp them, do a double stamp, and stamp it on white. This is number 37. This is called Caribbean Dream. It is a... I don't really know how you would describe it. This is like a teal, I guess, like a metallic teal. It's actually very pretty, and it does kind of remind me of the waters of the Caribbean. It's another one that shows up really well on black and on white. These metallic ones are, I mean, I'm always floored by Clear Jelly's metallic polishes. They are so, so good. And they're very easy to use. They're not kind of grainy. Sometimes you get like stamping with like sparkle polishes and they're kind of grainy, but these ones aren't grainy. So this is number 38. This is Mystic Moss. This is your, I call it camo green because I'm from Pennsylvania and we hunt in Pennsylvania. So that's just kind of the culture that I'm used to. But you would probably, normal people would probably call this like an olive green. It doesn't look as concentrated as it is in the bottle. Like, it's not as deep of an olive green, but it's definitely an olive green. So this is a good alternative. It is, I find, pretty good for camouflage colors if you're doing camouflage design, or it's also really good for stamps if you don't want something super like intense green like Dollar Dollar Bill. All right, this is number 40. This is called Pass the Pinot. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Like Pinot Noir, the wine. It's like Pass the Wine. This is just your, I want to say it's burgundy, but I don't completely buy it being burgundy. I would almost say that this leans a little purple, and you can kind of see it on the sheen. But it does pick up kind of burgundy. So it's your deeper red. It's really good for fall. It's great for plaid nails. It does not show up well on black, but it shows up really nicely on white. And this is another one that I got in the fall, and I really think that I'll get more use out of it this year. This is another one of my favorites, but I wish it was just slightly different. So this is number 41, and this is called Sweet Baby Rose. So this is the closest thing at this point that Clear Jelly Stamper has to a rose gold, but it's very on the rosy side of this. And I'm pretty sure that it's actually named after a YouTuber who works with Clear Jelly a lot. Her name is Talia. She has the channel Talia's Nail Tales. I'm pretty sure they named it after her daughter Rose, which is I think that's really sweet. It is a nice kind of rosy pink shimmer metallic polish, but I like my rose golds to be more like hardware rose gold, so that has a little bit more of the gold in it and a little less of the rose in it. I'm hoping they'll come out with that. This is number 42. This is Slate Gray. This is pretty much, it looks like a chalkboard is kind of how I would describe it. It's a dark gray. I like to have multiple of a color's shades, like a light gray and a dark gray. I think if you're going to start out like really building your stamping polish, and because I do like to outline with this as well, sometimes if I don't want something as light as Stone Cold, or something as dark as black, I will outline in slate gray. You can't see it over black, but it does show up really nicely over white. But as I was saying, I do try to kind of build my collection with like shades. And I'll kind of get back to that later. So this is number 51. This is Bring On the Bubbly. This is one of Clear Jelly's other gold polishes. And this is honestly the one that I prefer over number 3, which is all the glitters. I just think this one is definitely more of a champagne-y gold than a yellowy gold, but the yellow gold frankly doesn't look like great with everybody's skin tones. This is a little bit more of a gentler gold. So when I give people the choice and I kind of show them side by side, this by far is the one that people pick most of the time. And like I said, I do have to say it is a very pretty gold. So it's a little bit more champagne-y. I mean, you can pick what you like, but this would be my preference, and I'll definitely be getting a bigger bottle of it. All right, this is number 52. I don't actually know if this is number 52 or if it was sent to me by mistake or what the deal is. Because when I ordered number 52, and I don't even remember what number 52 is called, it was supposed to be shimmery, but this is just kind of like a teal. And, like, I'll show it to you and stamp it. There is no shimmer in it. Like, it was supposed to be a darker, like, medium kind of blue shimmer or, like, a teal shimmer. But this one, like, it just doesn't have any shimmer in it. And it kind of sits in the bottle. So, like I said, I don't know if it was sent to me by mistake or if it was a bad batch or what the deal was. I mean, I don't mind it. And I've, like, definitely used it in, like, ocean nails and stuff. But you can see it's teal, so I don't really have a name for you because I don't know what it is. All right, this one is number 56. This is salted caramel. I bought this for the sole reason to use in gingerbread nails because I bought a little gingerbread plate and I thought it was really cute, and I thought this would be cute for little metallic gingerbreads, but then nobody wanted them, so sad. But it's okay. This is also, I think, going to be since it's almost like coppery, I don't want to say it's brown, but it's like a coppery brown metallic. I think this will go really well over in fall, and I also think it's a really neat way to kind of do stems of leaves if you want something a little more shimmery. It doesn't show up terribly over black, but as you can see, as with most of these polishes, it's going to show better over white. This one is one of my favorites just because I'm partial to the color green. I love the color green. This is number 61, Glitzy Evergreen. This is a shimmery green. They're metallic green, but it is very much, it's very pigmented, and it shows up really nicely, I think, and it's a very nice, like, emerald, shiny green. So it's really good for around Christmas. St. Patrick's Day even, it's really good for. I don't do St. Patrick's Day nails really. I don't have anyone who wants them, but around Christmas, this definitely kind of is popular. And even it could be popular in the spring, I guess. But it does show up really nicely over black or a dark color. All right, this one is number 62. This is Vixen. This is Clear Jelly's other, like, red stamping polish. And if I had to honestly pick a red between this one or number 9, Ready for Anything, I would pick Vixen. And here's why. It does stamp not great, but better over top of black. It's a little bit of a brighter red. You can see it's not as deep. It's a little bit of a brighter red. So it stamps a little better, and I'll do a comparison at the end. But it stamps a little bit better over top of black. And I just think it's a better stark, like, it's a brighter red. And also, if you're layering, like, if you layer this on top of something, you have a better chance of not seeing what's underneath. Like, if you did a full image and then you're doing an image on top of it, that would probably be better to not see the image underneath. All right, so this is number 63. This is Scarlet Letter. This is the red metallic stamping polish. Again, I use this for the 4th of July, Memorial Day. Here in the United States, pretty much any America holiday, any, like, patriotic holiday, but if you're in, like, Canada, this could be good for Canada Day. It's also good for Christmas, I find. Sometimes you want a little glitz with your Christmas nails. And this does show up well on black. So if I have somebody who, my roommate one time wanted, like, lips stamped on her black nails, which was fine. But a creme just wasn't going to cut it, so we had to do the shimmer, and it turned out really nice. So this is number 66. This is called Petal Princess. This is the best way I can describe this is it's like a cream color. It's a very, very light cream, which is good for if you're doing if you're doing a stamp with someone with a light skin tone. It's really good for that. Or it's great for layering since it's kind of got that cream color. If you don't want something quite white, it's really good for layering with pinks and stuff. It does show up well on black. You can't see it super well on white, but it almost shows up as like an off-white on black, which is kind of how the color is anyways. I use it to reverse stamp Mickey Mouse all the time. Like, I use it for his skin color. Alright, this one is a new one to my collection. This is number 68, Soft Bloom. This is what I would call a soft peachy pink nude. It's kind of got a little bit peach leaning. It's really good for layering and for flowers. So it's great for right now with spring. This is one of my lighter pinks, definitely on the lighter side, but it's kind of in between the light and the medium. It's not the lightest I have. It's also not like a super medium pink. It does stand pretty well over white, I must say. And on top of black, it just looks it looks like a really light, like a very light pink. I think black, just the way it like kind of sucks, like it deceives your eye for the pigments and it makes stuff look lighter. Alright, this is number 72. This is called Pomme Frond. And this one is actually one that people really like around the spring or summertime. It's like that greenish, bluish, almost like Tiffany green. It's not Tiffany blue, but it's like, I don't know. Teal. It's that real popular color. When I look at it, I think of mermaids. I don't know why. It does stamp really well over black, actually, and I find it very popular, especially when you're doing nails with blues or greens. This seems to be one that people kind of gravitate towards. You can do stems with this or leaves if you were doing, maybe it depends on the colors you're doing. This is another new one to my collection. This is number 75, Everything's Rosy. This is a really good pink. It's a really nice, warm pink. And it's almost like a dusty rose, kind of. Which would, I guess, make sense for the name Everything's Rosy. But it's a little bit more intense of a pink. Like, it's more intense than Bubble Pop pink. It's deeper. So if you don't want something that looks like Pepto-Bismol, not that there's anything wrong with that. This is a little bit more of like it has a little deeper kind of mauvey thing in it. And it does actually stamp quite well over black. Now this one is number 76. This is Morning Dew. This is comparing, and I think I do compare these. Comparing this to CJ's PJs, this is a little bit lighter. I got this first, then I got CJ's PJs, because this doesn't stamp very well on top of white. Like, you can barely see it. It's a very pastel blue. So if you're stamping it on top of, like, another color, it'll probably be okay. I mean, if that's kind of it's a very, very baby blue, but it's also, like, you can see it kind of doesn't show up super great. On top of the white, you can't really see the design. It does show up on the black okay, but it kind of sucks some of that design out, or some of that pigment out. Okay, so number 78 is Vintage Lavender. I don't use a ton of purples, but some people really like them. This is like a dusty kind of lavender purple. It's vintage lavender. It's like that muted kind of purpley color. And I do like this color. It's not like a real crazy lavender, but it's a little bit more muted. It does stamp pretty well over black, but they came out with collections, and this is kind of like the antique collection. So I really am kind of partial to that antique or vintage collection that's the softer tones and, you know, a little calmer, not as bright or pastel. This is number 83, Vintage Julep. Julep? Pretty sure that's how you say it. I don't know if that's a flower or what, because every time I type it into stuff, it tells me I'm wrong. But this is like a muted green. It's a dusty green is how I would describe it. I love using this in like watercolor nails. This is a really good one to use for the stem because it's not like crazy intense, but it's still really pretty and shows up pretty well on white and on black as well. So this is kind of back to what I was talking about with getting shades. So I would start by getting your rainbows. If you were going to start to build your stamping collection, start with your rainbows and then start to get lighter colors of whatever you have the rainbow in, and then start kind of getting medium colors because you can mix them theoretically. That's not what I would do, but yeah, so start with your rainbows, then get your lighter, then get your darker, then get your middles. So this is number 88. This is Pretty in Pink. This is one of my lighter pinks. It would probably be in between Soft Bloom, like a little lighter than Soft Bloom, and Petal Princess. Again, it's a good one for layering. This actually does show okay on white, and it shows pretty well on black too. So this is probably, if I was going to pick a light pink for you to get, that's the one I would pick. Alright, so this is number 90, and this is called Pimento. This is like a caramel brown is how I would describe it. I got it initially for gingerbread nails because it's a good creme for gingerbreads. But I also really love it for some deeper skin tones if I'm doing people. Like, for example, I was stamping Moana and I was reverse stamping it. And this was just perfect for her skin tone. So you kind of have to be mindful about that if you're going to stamp people. Like, you need stuff to stamp skin tones. And this is a really nice one. It doesn't show super great over black, but on white it does. And as you can see, it's a perfect, like, caramel color. Alright, and finally, my last one out of 41 polishes. I actually have 43, but the other two are sticky polishes, and that's a whole other stamping video. This is number 111, and this is called Frosty Kisses. For whatever reason, Clear Jelly didn't have, like, a metallic-y light blue until, like, just this past year. So that's why the number is higher. It was one of their newer collections, and I love it. Like, I got so much use out of this when I stamped snowflakes in the winter, and I'm very glad I got it. I think that this is probably one of your, like, go-to ones. I would, and I guess that's a whole other thing, is I would work on your metallics at the same time you're kind of working with your rainbows. Like, pick your silvers, your golds, and then kind of, like, go seasonally, which is how I usually tell people to build their stamping collection anyways. Alright, so here we have Jenny's Gonna Love It, from the left to the right. Jenny's Gonna Love It, Angelic White, and Petal Princess. So you can see Jenny's Gonna Love It is definitely the starker of the three. Angelic White has that shimmer. But if you didn't want the shimmer of Angelic White, you could still kind of get the same sort of look in creme with Petal Princess. So here's Angelic White and Jenny's Gonna Love It beside each other. And as you can see, Angelic White, other than being shimmery, is a little bit creamier. So here are the three kind of browns that I have. So from left to right, we have Pimento, Salted Caramel, and then You Had Me a Chocolate. So you can see Pimento almost has some orange tones in it. Salted Caramel is kind of bronzier, and You Had Me a Chocolate is your brown. So these are after they're top coated, so you can kind of see that you can see on top of the black a little bit better, but I would still pick your first option to be You Had Me a Chocolate because I think it's more versatile. So here are some of the medium blues. So two of these are actually, okay, so from left to right, we have Storm Pirate, Blue Right On By, and then Gotta Be Blue from left to right. So Storm Pirate, you can see, is obviously darker. And neither of the creme ones show up super well on top of black, but Blue Right On By does, and that's because it is a metallic. So Blue Rhino and By and Storm Pirate kind of, like, these all kind of look similar. They have very similar tones, but they have very different uses. So here are my lighter blues. So right here from left to right, we have CJ's PJs and Morning Dew. So you can see very clearly that CJ's PJs, even if you can't necessarily see the design super well, CJ's PJs does show up better on white. So that would kind of be my pick, honestly, for, I like that one for if you're getting a light blue, get CJ's PJs. I think it's going to stamp better on top of things. But if you like the very, very light colors more, then Morning Dew would kind of be your better option. So here are the two golds, the comparison. So on the left, we have Pop the Bubbly, and we have all the glitters on the right. I'm sorry if you hear a weird sound in the background. My dog is licking my feet, which is, she just does. So Pop the Bubbly is, you can see it's very champagne-y, and all the glitters is definitely more of a yellow gold. I personally, again, prefer Pop the Bubbly. That's my choice, but you can kind of see them here, so you can, and that's why I'm doing this video, so you can see them to compare to see maybe what you want to buy, because Clear Jelly has so many stamping polishes now, and there's no sense buying them all. Don't be like me. But they do all kind of have their uses. So here is all the reds. These are my last ones. So after this, I'll go, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. But on the left, we have Scarlet Letter, then we have Ready for Anything, then we have Vixen, and then we have Past the Pino. So you can see that the one that shows up on black the best is Scarlet Letter, and Vixen is personally my favorite red, but that's kind of up to you to decide. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any other ideas for stamping videos or what you would want to see, maybe you want to see a video dedicated to just the red stamping polishes, maybe how they stamp on top of white in things, or if you want me to show you the layering technique I use to get more onto dark backgrounds, please let me know. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.